Welcome to part 1 of our Newfoundland Trail Guide series. We are happy, we are excited because we are about to embark on a trip of a lifetime through Newfoundland, relying only on our machines. We start by leaving our truck and trailer on the Cape Breton island, grabbing all our gear, loading it up, and taking an 8-hour ferry over to the island of Newfoundland.
We are here. We just landed on the ferry. We are going to Newfoundland. Ferry leaves in a couple hours. We're gonna go get situated, probably have a nap since we didn't sleep at all.
There was no sleep last night, no.
And this is our first time. Super wicked experience so far getting on the ferry. They're pumped to see us. For anyone that's wondering, we came up in a truck and a double trailer, so there's actually A&J parking. They rushed us right in, even though we had a pretty big trailer. They made everything super transparent for us and quick, so we're just heading up to our cabins now, and yeah, we'll see you guys in a bit.
Oh, right here. It's a push.
Oh my.
Oh, dang.
Looks like we're snuggling. So we just left the dock and we're heading out now. We are en route to Newfoundland, but this thing boogies for a huge unit, so here we go to 8 hours.
So we settled in for what we thought would feel like forever. But before we knew it, we got our first glimpse of the island.
Man, we're so close. It's right there. We're almost here. We're almost here.
Finally, we were docked and it was time to make our way down to our machines. And it's pretty cool how they put you at the front of the ship while loading back in Cape Breton to make sure we're the first off on the Newfoundland side. We just simply followed the signs off the boat, made our way to the road, and it was about 2 minutes to our hotel.
We're here.
Man,
So we just landed.
just landed.
What an ordeal, man. They know how to whip them boats in. That's pretty narrow coming through there, and he stuffed it right in the dock like they know what they're doing, I guess,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, so we just landed. We're at our first stop, St. Christopher's, I think. Christopher's Hotel?
Yeah, in I think so. Yeah, I think so.
In Port Aux Basque. So the ferry was sick. I think it was like, what, 5.5 hours?
Yeah, it
6
went
hours?
quick. It went quick.
Super quick. We got a cabin, 4 of us in one cabin, and price-wise, you can't really beat it. And they're pretty cool.
It was worth it. You
Definitely
catch some
worth it.
Z's
You can go to sleep, and we lucked out. Nobody got sick, but super fast. I was expecting it to be like 8 hours. Is kind of what I was.
It's really quick, and it was it was really smooth. There was no
So,
seasickness.
but yeah, so we're gonna get checked in here and go grab some food, and then start planning for tomorrow, because tomorrow is gonna be our first day. Almost 200 kilometers.
Is it really? First day?
It's like 180, I think.
Woo!
So
So we okay. So
we
we
got
got
a
to
bit
get
of planning to do.
We'll have to get up and
Bit of
go.
relaxing to do. Bit of eating to do.
That's
so
right.
we're gonna get at that, and we'll see you guys in the morning.
Let's get it.
Let's do it.
Welcome to Port Aux Basque. This was our first taste of the island, and at this point, we knew our trip was going to be epic. And all we had left to do was get some food and catch some Z's because we had a big day tomorrow.
We just got up, grabbed some Timmy's, grabbed some fuel for the machines, and yeah, we're about to hit the road, get everything loaded up, packed up. We got our food and everything for the day. It's gonna get pretty scenic here soon, so we'll show you guys some clips.
So we set out with our shiny clean machines, and the very first thing on the trail was this very narrow pathway leading up to the train that indicates the beginning of the trail. we knew it, maybe 5 kilometers in, we were already hitting sand and able to check out the beaches.
We're in the is pretty cool, man.
First time on sand.
Yeah, first time on sand too.
It's interesting. It's
Feels like you got no power.
But we couldn't waste too much time because this was our very first stop, and like I said, we were maybe 5 kilometers in on our trip. But it would only be another kilometer or so before we were forced to stop again with our first problem of our 1,000 kilometer trip.
Well, we made it kind of far. First little calves, we had the old caliper bracket come off, so just getting some bolts geared up. We got one of them was still in it, but we did lose one, so we're gonna cut this guy down, put a little washer on it. We got some spare nuts and bolts we brought just in case.
I think we made it 5 kilometers.
5 kilometers, so that's pretty good.
Good start.
That's a good start. But minor, we're just looking for a spacer now.
We're just working out the kinks.
Working out the kinks,
that
yeah.
wouldn't happen
It
after
bet-
200 kilometers.
No, exactly.
It's gonna happen right away.
So
After we were done jimmy rigging a bolt through my caliber, we said we were done with sand for now and we set our sights on the mountains. And oh boy, what a difference in terrain. This hill was rocky and it was long. It's called Table Mountain and it was a 1,200 foot climb. And I can tell you one thing, if you're doing a Newfoundland trip and you're thinking about climbing this for the view, it is well worth it. I would have absolutely loved to fly the drone for you guys here. It was so beautiful, but in a previous video we did, the wind actually took my drone and I was very lucky to get it back, so there was no way I was taking that chance. So we descended 1,200 feet, left the mountains behind us, and headed down the coastline towards Stevensville to our first Airbnb of the trip. And after a few tunnels and a ton of bridges, we picked one and we decided we were going to stop here for a break. And after grilling up a few hot dogs and crashing my drone for the first time of this trip, we decided it was time to climb up this steep hill and get the heck out of here.
we just cooked some dogs at the big bridge, and we're about an hour from Stevensville, so we're gonna get on it.
You heard the man, we were still an hour from Stephenville, so we put the pedal down because it was getting pretty late in the day. However, we couldn't pass up a couple passes of the infamous sandhill. And then we stumbled across this place called Stephenville Crossing. This was one of our favorite places of the whole trip, and you're going to see why. We had just stumbled across where all the local riders like to rip, so we took by example and we did some ripping on the beach ourselves. If you know any beaches where you can rip wide open, drop a comment below and let us know where. Now pay very close attention here because this is where we lost a very valuable piece of gear. And not only that, but we didn't realize that it was gone until we were at the Airbnb almost an hour away. So, leaving our camping gear behind, we proceeded through Stephenville Crossing, which was basically like a beach town. It was actually super cool, sand everywhere, kids ripping on four-wheelers on the streets. It was such a cool vibe. So, we decided that we had made enough stops for today, and our next stop was going to be the Airbnb. And one of the most surreal things for us anyway, traveling through Newfoundland, was that a lot of the streets and roads are actually legal for side-by-sides and ATVs to travel on. That was such a weird concept. I couldn't really wrap my head around it, sitting at lights and like blending in with traffic. It was so cool. And here you're gonna find us pulling up to our Airbnb finally after a 180 kilometer day. It was a very long day. We're very exhausted at this point, just ready to get some food and get some rest and take on the rest of this trip. And if you made it this far in the video, I can safely assume that you enjoyed it. So why don't you go ahead and hit the subscribe button and maybe click that little bell notification as well, because we want to make sure that our long form videos are getting out to our subscribers. I know YouTube isn't too friendly with that at all times, so we want to make sure that you're seeing our videos. And of course, we're doing more videos in this series for this Newfoundland trip. This was day 1, and we spent 7 days in Newfoundland, so definitely not going to want to miss that. We even got screeched in later in this series, and we're going to share that with you. So once again, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification button, hit the little thumbs up, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks again, guys.